Good morning children, welcome to the online class 18. In this class, we are going to discuss the new topic called petroleum. In the previous classes, 7th and the 6th standard only, have studied more about the coal and the petroleum, how the manufacturing, how it is protection, everything we have studied. In this class, in this lesson, from the government, they have deleted some of the topics from the lessons. So that topics I will omit in that. Remaining topic we are going to discuss today. So we'll start the lesson page number 56, coal and petroleum. We use various materials for our basic needs. Some of them are found in nature and some have been made by human effort. So in the day-to-day life, we are using many materials from the nature that we are getting from the nature, or that may be found in made by a man-made also. So what are the things we are getting from the nature and what are the things we are getting from the man-made? So you can say the examples from the nature. We are getting the regular use like water from the nature. Air, water and soil. So these are the natural things we are using for the regular. Man-made means we can say the many materials for us man-made by them. So natural resources we are getting from the nature thing. That's also called natural resources. So these resources once will be depleted means we take more time to get. Continuously we will get, but some of the natural resources once will be depleted means it will be take more time to produce them. So that kind of resources are called fossil fuels. So fossil fuels how will be produced means in the previous class only we discussed in the class 7. So may dead and decayed plants, microbes or animals. So long millions of years it will settle down in the underground. Then upon in that more pressure and the temperatures it will be become to the some of the hard things. So that hard things only become to coal and even the petroleum products. So these coal and the petroleum products are very important for our day-to-day life, and then once it will be depleted means it will take millions of time to produce in that. So we have to be used in a limited quantity for in our life. Apart from that, natural things are like air, water, and the soil and all continuously it will be available. So unlimited quantity it will be available for our users. So that type of natural resources only we are going to discuss in this lesson. So air, water, and the soil be exhausted by human activities. You have already studied in the class 7 in that. In the light of the availability of the various resources in nature, natural resources can be broadly classified into two kinds. So it is divided into two types. One is inexhaustible. Inexhaustible and exhaustible. So there are two types of the resources, inexhaustible and the exhaustible. Inexhaustible means like this type of resources, it will be in unlimited quantity will be present in our nature. We can use it in that, and it will be continuously available in the earth. That is inexhaustible. So the examples are air, water, and the soil. We can say. So inaccessible natural resources are present in the unlimited quantity in the nature and are not likely to be exhausted by the human activities. Example, sunlight and even the sunlight also we can have. So these type of natural resources, it won't be depleted. Once it be depleted also, continuously we can get from the nature. So these types of natural resources are very important in our regular life. Next is the inexhaustible natural resources. This type of amount of natural resources is limited in our nature. They can be exhausted by the human activities. So this is unlimited quantity we will be getting. And this is accessible means limited quantity you will be get from the nature. So you can differentiate, no? So unlimited means how much it will be used in the regularly if we use and go also it won't be get over. Okay, continuously we will be get. For example, water, air, and the soil, sunlight, continuously you can see no daily you can get it. It won't be get over only. But limited quantity of the some natural resources. I told you that is the example. fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels means nothing but like a coal and the petroleum products. Example, coal and petroleum products. So apart from that, natural gases are there. Natural gas. So about the coal and the petroleum, you already studied in the class 7. That's what in this lesson the government has deleted these portions. How the protection of coal and the petroleum. Then also I just explain you how it is protection. Coal and the petroleums, like the millions of years ago, dead and the decayed organisms will be settled down from the natural resources. It will be settled down to the underground. Upon that, pressure and the temperatures will be then become to that things have become too hard and some very hard and the permanent things. That things are called coal and the petroleum. Like in the land, it will be happen means that becomes the coal. In the water, it will be happening that is the petroleum product. So this is the way the protection of the coal and the petroleum, but it will take years of time to produce in that. But so that's the reason they have deleted in that. So in this now page number 57, coal 5.1 they have deleted, and sodium the coal also they deleted. So no need to explain by me, and you no need to study for that notes and then for the exam purpose. And 5.2 page number 59 that also is not there, petroleum. So just mark it in there, cross it that is not there in the portion. Now we are going to discuss about page number 60, natural gas. That means important limited exhaustible resource. Example fossil fuels I told you no. Coal and the petroleum they deleted. Now only the natural gases only we are going to discuss in this lesson. Now the page number 60, 5.3 natural gases. Before entering into the natural gases, I just tell you what is the use of this fossil fuels. Like coal means you know that if it will be burned enormous amount of coal means we will get the electricity from that. Apart from the electricity, other coal products we will be get like tar and the petroleum products we will be get. Like ammonia gases will be produced in that. Like petroleum also, petroleum and the petroleum products we will be get from that. Like that, in the natural gas, by using the natural gas, we will get the hydrogen gas and it will be used to manufacture the fertilizers and the chemicals. Okay, so that is the important use for the natural gas. So about the natural gas, we are going to now discuss. Page number 60. Many useful substances are obtained from the petroleum and the natural gases. These are termed as petrochemicals. So, which are getting from the petrol that are called petrochemicals, and that is even the natural resource, natural gas also. These are used in the manufacture of detergents, fibers. That means natural fibers also is there. For example, polyesters, nylon, artificial fibers, acrylic, polythene, and other man-made plastics. Hydrogen gas obtained from the natural gas is used in the production of fertilizers. So from the natural gas we are getting the hydrogen gas. So using that hydrogen gas we can able to make the fertilizers. Fertilizer means you know about that it is using for the crops growth fertilizers and all. That may be the urea, uric acid, ammonia that and all. Due to its great commercial importance, petroleum is also the black gold. So because of the we are using more petroleum products for the vehicles, transport, everything. That's what they call the black gold. Black gold. So now we are going to discuss deeply about the natural gas. Natural gas is a very important fossil fuel because it is easy to transport through pipes. It's very weightless, okay? So no need to carry in the containers like the tin. So it is highly compressed also. So more amount of the quantity we can compress in the containers, then it gets sent through the pipelines only. So no need to carry from the one place to the other place by the chariots or by the vehicles. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas, that is CNG. So about the natural gas, example CNG, compressed natural gas. So high quantity of the gas we can compress in a container, that is the high compressed natural gases. Natural gas is stored in under the high pressure as compressed natural gas. CNG is used for the power generation. So where it is using means in power generation. electrical power generation, there they are using for this type of natural gas, and it is now being used as a fuel for transport vehicles because it is less polluting. But nowadays it's using for transport also. In our capital, Delhi, they already started to use the natural gas for the vehicles. Even in the Karnataka also, they started to use the transport for the vehicles, this CNG natural gas, because why no, it's unpolluted. It cannot be able to do any pollution for them. So it's a pollution free. Pollution free gas. So easily we can be used. It is cleaner fuel and it is using for the cleaner fuel also for the vehicles. The great advantage of the CNG is that it can be used directly for the burning in homes and factories where it can be supplied through the pipes. So easily we can use through the pipelines, we can use in our home also and the factories also. In the naturally we can produce it at home. In the villages now we can see the cow ducts will be so the cow ducts will be put in they'll be digging place and they'll be put inside and they'll be put enormous amount of pressure upon them. That means they'll be closed, they concrete thing they'll be closed in that. In that, from the cow ducts will be produced the enormous amount of methane gas. That also is one type of natural gas. Through the pipelines we can connect for our gas cylinders also. So even the use household we can use, even the factories we can use for the CNG gases. Such a network pipelines exist in Gujarat. So here where they started at the very first in our country means Gujarat. Some parts of the Delhi and other places also they are using for this CNG gases. So I told you before only in our capital Delhi and in Karnataka also they started this type of natural gases for the transport vehicles. Natural gas is also used as a starting material for the manufacturing of a number of chemicals and the fertilizers. So, because why in this natural gases we are getting enormous amount of the hydrogen gas. So, from the hydrogen gas we can use to produce, means we can manufacture the fertilizers and the chemicals also. India has vast reserves of the natural gas. In our country, natural gas has been found in Tripura. That means in our country, they are why means the petroleum and the coal and all. Like in our population, it will be continuously using means definitely within another 10 years it will be take over. So after that, definitely we won't get from any mine from our country, we won't get this type of coal and the petroleum. So we have to depend to the other countries only. So to avoid that, natural gas is very easy to produce and it's a less price also to buy in them. So compared to other fossil fuels, it's a better use for us and important thing is unpolluted for the environment. That's the purpose we are using for them. And at very first in our country, Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and in the Krishna Godavari Delta places only, they have found an enormous amount of the natural gases. Now the question is, can coal, petroleum, and the natural gas be prepared in the laboratory from dead organisms? So I have told you, coal and the petroleum it will take millions of years to produce that. Okay, so this type of fossil fuels definitely we cannot be prepared by man-made in a factories because it will take long time and that much of sources it won't be fixed in the place in a laboratories or the factories also. So definitely we cannot be make this coal and the petroleum in a laboratories. Now the next is some natural resources are limited. So some of the natural resources are very limited. That means coal and the petroleum. Why limited means because of the time beings it will be take enormous, like it will be take more years to produce that. So that type of natural resources you have studied beginning of the chapter and some natural resources are exhaustible like fossil fuels, forest and minerals, etc. Okay, fossil fuels you come to know this is, it will be take millions of years to produce. What about the forest and the minerals? Even the forest also once will be deforested forest, all the trees in the forest means it will be take years and then animals it won't be get the habitat in the places. So many microorganisms it will be lose the habitat for them. So it will take time for them to refresh the forest and even the minerals. Once will be destroy the forest means what are the neutralized minerals or the top layer of the soil we getting the minerals that will be gone in the soil by the soil erosion. So that is the thing. We are not supposed to use more amount of the coal, petroleum in the forest. So that is the limited quantity available in our nature. You know that coal and the petroleum are fossil fuels. It requires the dead organisms millions of years. What I explained that only they have given repeatedly. So it will take millions of years to make the converted into the fossil fuels. On the other hand, we know reserves of these will last only few hundred years. Moreover, burning of these fuels is a major cause of air pollution. So whenever we are burning the coal and the petroleum, we can see in the roadsides that vehicles will be keep on releasing the gases. So that is not petroleum products only. Definitely, it is a very polluted for our environment. We cannot be breathing problem will become. We will get the so many lung disorders for that. So even the coal also, once we be burning, start to burn the coal means a enormous amount of the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide will be produced from that. So all these gases are very bad and it's very polluted for our environment. So we should be avoid for to use this type of fossil fuels. Moreover, burning of these fuels is a major causes of air pollution. Their use is also linked to global warming. So this is the reason the global warming. It is therefore necessary that we use these fuels only when absolutely necessary. So once we have to be confirmed it is necessary means we have to use this type of fossil fuels. Otherwise we are not supposed to be used. This will result in better environment. So if we be avoid like this type of fossil fuels means definitely we can save our environment. We can be feel better environment. Smaller risk of the global warming and their availability for a longer period of time. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, that is PCRA, Petroleum Conservation. So they only get be limited advising people how to save petrol, diesel while driving their time. So whenever we are driving, for example, in the traffic, we have to off the vehicle. So some quantity of the petrol and the products will be saved for the next work for us. So this is the way they have given some of the tips how to handle this fossil fuels for the regular use. Drive at a constant and a moderate speed as per the possible. So we have to be fix some of the constant speed for the vehicles. Then too much of the fossil like petroleum products won't be placed in the vehicles. Switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. So in the traffic time, the signals you have to off the while waiting for the minutes. Then it will be save the few amount of the fossil fuels for you. Ensure correct tire pressures. So this we have to be put the correct tire pressures of the vehicles. That also is useful to save the fossil fuels. Ensure regular maintenance of the vehicles. So we have to maintain the maintenance of the vehicles. So what type of oils or what type of the petroleums like regularly if you're using the same type of mix, we can be maintain the our vehicle in a good condition. So these are the tips they have given by the PCR how to save the fossil fuels, how to use the limited quantity in the fossil fuels. So in this lesson only we will discuss about only the what are the inexhaustible and exhaustible resources. Inexhaustible means that is the unlimited quantity we will get from the nature. That is, I have told you examples: air, water, sunlight, and the soil. So already we have studied in that. That topic is not deleted. Now, exhaustible resources means limited quantity only we will get. That example is fossil fuels. In that also coal and the petroleum already studied in the previous classes. So in this lesson only natural gases only we are discussing them. So natural gases about in that, what are the uses of that, how to use the fossil fuels, that only we will discuss in this lesson. So next class I will send you for the notes for this lesson. Thank you children.